Akala ng marami, kailangan ng mahigit 100,000 pesos per person para makapunta ng Japan. Pero we spend only around 50,000 pesos per person for 11 days in Japan. At hindi ito backpacking. Hindi rin kami nag-hostel and kumain kami ng maayos at sa mga gusto naming kainan. Paano? Halika, pakita ko sa inyo. Unahin na natin yung flight. So yung flight na nakuha namin sa Cebu Pacific is a total of 30,000 pesos para sa aming tatlo. So that's 10,000 per person. Included na dyan yung check-in baggages na kainailangan namin papunta ng Japan and pabalik. Malaking factor ito kung bakit naging 50,000 pesos lang per person ang naging budget namin. At kung hindi ganito yung makukuha mong price or even lower, expect that your total cost would also be higher. So pangalawa guys is yun sa hotel. For our hotels, we spent a total of 35,000 for 10 nights. So hindi naman sila mga budget hotels and hindi rin naman luxury. They're very comfortable for a family of 3. It's just that nung nagpunta kami nung time na yun is hindi na siya peak season. It was the end of February until March. So in Kyoto, we stayed at the Smile Hotel. And sa Osaka naman, we stayed in 1-5 Hotel in Kuromon area. They offered a very good deal for a family of 3 at laging yung pinakamalaking room sa floor na yon ang nakukuha namin. I think yun talaga yung size ng room na in-offer nila for a family. So for that price, sobrang good deal na. Transportation. So for transportation, isa ito sa malalaking expenses namin dito sa trip na to. From the airport going to Kyoto, we rode the limousine bus and spent 2,600 para sa aming tatlo. And then, pauwi naman, ang pauwi namin is Osaka kami galing, papuntang Kansai International Airport. We rode the Namba Express train. Para sa aming tatlo, total of 1,500 pesos using the Namba Express. So, kasama na doon yung nabawas sa Suica card. Total is 1,500. Nag-taxi din kami nung papunta kami sa hotel nung aming first night because madami kaming bagahe. So, from Kyoto Station to our hotel, that was only 350 pesos for the taxi. So, sulit na din kesa naman marami kaming bit-bitin. Okay, and then for our daily transport, for the top-up, we spent a total of 10,000 to 13,000 pesos. And wala nang laman yung Suica card ngayon. So, nagamit namin lahat nung amount na yon. So, it's between 10 to 13,000 pesos. So, let's just say ang nagastos namin is 13,000 pesos growing around the area of Kyoto and Osaka using the trains and the buses. Madalas kaming mag-bus guys sa Kyoto and madalas din kami mag-train. And from Osaka, nagpunta pa nga kami ng Nara. So, we go around the area always using the train and the bus. Now, ito ang pinakamalaking gastos namin sa transportation. So, we had a day trip going to Shirakawa-go, pero ang meeting place kasi is Nagoya. So, from Kyoto, we had to go to Nagoya, and the only option na nakikita namin sa Google Maps is using the bullet train. So, using the bullet train, from Kyoto to Nagoya is 5,000 pesos para sa aming tatlo. And so, from Nagoya going back to Kyoto is another 5,000 pesos. So, a total round trip of 10,000 pesos guys just for the bullet train. So, yun yung isa sa pinakamalaking naging gastos namin guys. So, take note nyo din yon if you're going to book a day trip. Tapos, iba yung meeting place. If you're going to use the bullet train, just take note na baka malaki yung magagastos nyong amount. I tried to check kung meron kasing ibang option, yung parang semi-express train na regular lang. Pero wala talaga akong makita. And malilate na din naman kasi kami noong time na yun. So, okay na kami sa bullet train. But it was an experience. Shirakawa-go was nice. It was very memorable. First time namin makakita ng snow. Abangan nyo yan guys sa ating Japan series. Next is for our experiences, katulad ng mga Universal Studios or Shirakawa-go. So, yun lang naman dalawang yun ang aming pre-book major planned trips. So, dun pa lang sa ticket nilang dalawa, yung ticket ng Universal Studios is mahigit 9,000 pesos na. And then, Yung Shirakawa Go is also around 11,000 pesos mahigit. So that's just for those 2 trips, 20,000 mahigit na agad yung nagastos natin. This is even before going to Japan. For the food, so tinago ko as much as possible lahat ng mga resibo ng pagkain namin. But of course, meron ibang food na wala kasing resibo, like yung mga nag-food trip lang kami or bumili lang kami ng kamote somewhere. Syempre wala namang resibo yun, guys. So I estimated that the food namin, including the ones with receipts, is around 28,000 pesos. This is for 11 days and tatlo na kami dyan, guys. And take note, hindi kami, guys, nagtipid sa pagkain. Talagang kung ano naman yung gusto namin kainin, kinakain namin. May times lang na kapag pagod na kami, yun yung convenience store na lang kami. Kung ano yung nasa ibaba ng hotel kasi ayaw nyo nang lumayo. And may food trip na din tong amount na to. Nag-food trip kami in Nishiki Market, Kuromon Market. So guys, abangan nyo yung mga lugar na yan sa ating upcoming Japan series. For cash, guys, although karamihan ng mga purchases namin ginawa namin through credit card, we also opted to withdraw cash using our GCash Visa card. And ang total ng na-withdraw namin from GCash is 26,000 pesos. Although may natira pa namang cash dito, yun nga lang puro coins na siya. Ayan, hindi ko na nga lang siya na-compute. Pero may mga 500 pa, yan pa kasi dito. Kasi guys, kapag yung mga stalls lang naman sa mga labas, ganun, wala naman sila kasing credit card, so more on cash sila. Kaya kailangan may cash din kayo, guys, lalo na kung gusto nyo ring mag-food trip. And then the rest of it, guys, is pinang top up namin sa Suica card, which we use for the buses and the trains. I don't know kung hindi ko lang nakita, pero tuwing nagta-top up kami ng Suica card, wala kasi ako nakikitang option na ipangbayad is credit card. So I could be wrong, guys, baka hindi ko lang nakita. Please comment below kung meron bang option kasi hindi ko talaga nakita, which is why nagwi-withdraw kami lagi ng cash para mag-top up ng Suica card. Ang bata is kalahati lang yung fare nila sa mga bus and mga trains. We also spend cash on other miscellaneous items tulad ng pambili ng gamot kasi may sakit kami nung time na yon, or yung mga heat pack kasi for some reason mas malamig sa Osaka than when we were in Kyoto, so talagang lamig na lamig kasi yung kamay namin. Yung mga small things that we buy, yung mga pa-cutesy things that we buy na akala natin 100 yen lang, mura lang naman, it can add up, no? Magugulat ka na lang, wala ka ng cash, or magugulat ka na lang dun sa bill mo ng credit card kasi marami kang binibili ng mga mura kasi akala mo puro mura sila, but they add up. So it's important, guys, that ito is also for me that we track even the small expenses, especially if you are budget conscious like us. Okay, ano pa yung mga other pre-travel expenses? Una na dyan, guys, is nag-book kami ng pocket wifi sa Klook. So for 11 days, it is 1,474 ang binayad namin sa Klook, and tatlo na kaming gumagamit nun. So bakit hindi eSIM? Kasi guys, yung phone namin is lumang-luma pa to, hindi pa siya eSIM ready. Next, guys, don't skip this, travel insurance. Although hindi naman siya i-check ng immigration dito or sa Japan kung meron kayong travel insurance, I still highly advise that you get one for your own peace of mind. So we got our travel insurance from AXA, and for 11 days, tatlo kami, the amount is 3,553. Sa aming tatlo na yun. Another pre-travel expense is yung travel tax sa NAIA. But, you know, I hope na by the time you travel is wala na yung travel tax. Pero para sa amin nung time na to, may travel tax pa. And ang total ng binayad namin is 4,050 pesos. So, yung isa kasi is bata, so kalahati lang yung amount. Okay, so ang total para sa aming tatlo is mahigit 151,000 pesos ang nagastos namin for 11 days in Japan ng tatlo kami, guys. So, that would be mahigit 50,000 pesos per person. So, possible nga ba ang 50 plus thousand pesos per person for a Japan trip? Yes na yes, guys. But again, ang malalaking factors, guys, is yung flights na makukuha nyo and yung hotels. Yun yung two major factors na magko-contribute dito sa budget na to. So, anong mga tips na mabibigay ko para sa inyo at natutunan namin for this trip? Number 1, mag-abang ng seat sale flights. I know guys na mahirap gawin to for now kasi syempre, iniintay muna nating ma-approve yung visa natin before booking a flight. Sa totoo lang guys, yung flight namin, kinuha namin siya before pang na-approve yung visa namin for this trip. And I know that is a risk but pinag-usapan naming mag-asawa and it was a risk that we were willing to take na hindi na kami manghihinayang dun sa pera. Pero thank God no na na-approve naman yung visa namin and hindi na sayang yung flights. Pangalawa is choose a hotel or accommodation na pasok sa budget. So guys, remember, lakad tayo ng lakad buong araw in Japan and pagbalik, it would be nice na very relaxing din yung room or yung lugar na pag-i-stayan natin. So make sure, look somewhere na you feel like marerelax din naman kayo at makakapagpahinga ng maayos. Pangatlo is better planning for the routes taken, no? So, tulad nga nung nasabi ko kanina na nagpunta kami ng Nagoya using the bullet train. So, kung babaguhin ko itong pinlano naming DIY trip, I would have opted na nagstay kami even for a night or two sa Nagoya para na-explore din namin yung area and hindi na sayang din no, yung ginastos sa transportation. Tsaka sayang kasi nandun na sana. Ngayon, hindi ko na sinama dito sa computation na ito yung mga nagastos namin sa pampasalubong or souvenirs tulad nitong Hufflepuff t-shirt na binili ko sa Universal Studios. Hindi ko na siya guys sinama sa computation kasi yung amount nun is depende na guys sa inyo. In our case, sa Don Quijote na lang kasi usually yan naman yung binibila natin guys ng pasalubong. Around 20 plus thousand pesos yung nagastos namin doon pampasalubong sa pamilya and may mga pasabay na din yun. So, bakit kami nag-Don Quijote guys? Kasi sabi nga nila, mas mura dun sa ibang drugstore. So, we compared and we computed guys. Ang nakikita kasi naming mura lang sa drugstore are the candies. So, para dun sa mga skincare kasi, may mga mas murang promo si Don Quijote. And aside from tax deduction na 10% na tax-free, meron pa siyang additional na 5 or 7% off depende kung magkano yung nagastos mo. So, binibigay nila to guys. Kung wala kayong ganito, papapuntahin nila kayo sa isang website para makuha nyo yung additional na discount. So, yun yung reason kung bakit kami sa Don Quijote pa rin namili ng mga pampasalubong. So, yun guys, pero hindi ko na talaga sinama sa overall computation yung mga pasalubong because guys, it's up to you. Hindi naman na siya kailangan para makapunta kayo sa Japan. So guys, if you're planning a Japan trip, watch our upcoming Japan series at papakita namin doon yung kung paano kami nag-DIY from the airport, pumunta kami doon sa hotel namin sa Kyoto, kung paano kami nag-roam around using the public transportation, saan kami kumain, nagpunta tayo sa USJ, sa Shirakawago, and much more kasama na rin yung mga food trip natin. So guys, abangan nyo yan. I hope nakatulong sa inyo ang video na ito and kung nagustuhan nyo itong video na ito, please paki-like nyo naman and share this video, especially those na pupunta ng Japan. And also click that notification bell para malaman nyo pag meron na tayong bagong video dun sa ating Japan series. And please subscribe to our channel, The Cube Explorers, and i-follow nyo na rin kami sa aming mga social media accounts. Maraming salamat sa panonood ng video na ito and see you on our Japan series!